is take hold of that. In a tug of war, what do you need to do to declare victory?
Pull the other person to the other side.
Onto your side, right? Well, in a situation where immigrants who generally are disenfranchised who have a voice that's not listened to, and on the other side you have politicians who have campaign backers and people who vote for them regularly, and they have access to the media. Who has more strength in this relationship?
Politicians.
Politicians. They can easily tug and win, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to think about all the different ways that we can give more power, more energy, more force to this side of this equation, right? And
wait, that's politicians.
oh yeah. Oh, sorry. You're politicians.
No, they're the politicians.
Oh, they're the politicians. Sorry, politicians.
I was on that already.
Okay. Y'all don't actually have to fall on that. So these group of people right here have campaigned on some of the most nastiest ideas towards immigrants, and they've been spreading lies all over the place, and they got elected, and they now have introduced some really bad bills. Right? We have one piece of legislation that would require everybody everybody that works in a school district to report those students who are undocumented to ICE. Is ICE going to come in and raid all these schools for young people who are trying to learn, trying to get their education? This is what these politicians, would have for the community, for Texas, for the state of Texas. That's just one example.
Wait, is this real?
Yeah, this is real. This is a current bill that's introduced currently in the state of Texas. And again, there's 60 of these anti-immigrant proposals. A lot of them just really bad like that. But they have a lot of clout. But what we need to do is we need to bring more power onto the side, and bring more influence, and bring more people power over here. And we're gonna do a little bit of an example from Arizona. And Arizona passed SB 1070, one of the worst pieces of anti-immigrant legislation that we've seen in this country. But they also just recently were able to get their state senate to strike down a series of anti-immigrant bills. And they were able to do that not out of the goodness of the heart of these people right here, or of really any of the politicians, but because they were able to organize, and they were able to mount pressure, and they were able to bring a lot of power onto this side of the equation. So, if you're an immigrant, or you're an immigrant rights organizer, whatever it might be, what do you think is going to bring? What do you think? Well, first off, what do you think that these guys care about?
Getting reelected.
They care about getting reelected. Definitely. They care about power.
And money, basically.
And money. They also care about something that a lot of people don't think about very much, is their image. Usually maybe these politicians don't care about their image, but the politicians that generally go along with them kind of do care about their image. They don't want to be seen as being racist in a lot of cases. And they also care about their image and their relationship with business people, and especially business people that operate in the state. That goes along with power and money. So those are the things that they care about. Now, and what does our compañero here care about? Sorry, what's your name?
Cristóbal.
Cristóbal. What does Cristóbal care about?
Food.
Food.
Maintaining his family.
Surviving. Surviving. What is it? His community.
Having a voice.
Having a voice and using his voice. Shelter, basics. Probably wants
Improved living conditions.
Improved living conditions, improved working conditions, and education. Now these politicians here really don't care what he wants, right? And generally they might say it, but generally they don't care what any of us really want unless it fits into them getting more power, more votes, whatever it might be. Of course, those are the nastiest of the nasty politicians, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to we're gonna use what he needs right here to bring more people onto his side, but also what they need, we're gonna try to bring the backing that they have over onto our side, right? Once the backing that they have comes to our side, then they have to move, right? So, who is he gonna reach out to first? Or not first, but I mean, who are the different groups that Cristo is gonna reach out to?
Unions.
Unions. So if he's a worker and he's talking about, you know, that when we allow immigrant workers to organize, and it raises the standards for all workers to organize. And so unions are going to come, or some of the unions might come to this side. Who wants to represent unions? Somebody want to come up? Anybody?
Híjole.
Oh, you could go.
Okay. So you're going to come and you're going to grab onto the side of the road. Who else does he want to reach out to?
Business.
Businesses. And how is he going to reach out to businesses?
Well, if it was me, I would like target the major businesses that have the mostly Mexican American population, going to them, like HEB. Mostly Mexican Americans go to there. So I would target them, like, wouldn't you want to benefit their business wise, knowing that all of those populations go to that business instead of, you know, siding with the politicians.
And mini
Do you
marts.
have-
Mini marts. Mini marts, because like speaking
Yeah.
mini marts, there's a lot of Mexicanos that work there too.
So you have a lot of small businesses definitely that are easily going to jump onto his side. The big businesses, what is the problem with the big businesses not wanting to get onto their side?
You should favor and sponsor a lot of
Yeah.
big politicians.
What's that?
You should
They-
favor and sponsor a lot of politicians.
Right, because these politicians also don't want their workers organizing. Right. So these politicians, politicians, the big businesses generally don't want to they don't want to get hats in the
Ring.
Thank you. So they're gonna stand off, but they're gonna be a very important play in a second. Who else does she want to? Who else does Cristobal want to reach out to?
Organizaciones no gubernamentales.
So nonprofits.
ONGs, non-profits and ONGs, like student organizations, all kinds of.
So nonprofit organizations, community organizations, he's already probably part of one of them that's doing immigrant rights organizing. There's also other nonprofit organizations that provide services for immigrants, or who provide services just for low-income people who are gonna come up onto their site. Does anybody want to represent those folks?
Anybody from LUPE? LULAC? Anybody?
Sweet, awesome. And then I'm gonna rush this along a little bit. So students also are a big part of this equation. And what the students do have, just like y'all are here working right now during school time, during the day, y'all are putting your effort towards this cause. A lot of students have more time than people in the community do that are working 2 jobs to try to keep their family going, right? So students have a lot of responsibility in the movement. They also have something that is, they also have the youthful energy, they have ideas, and they also have clout. They have, when you have students involved, you bring you bring a lot of, what's it called, like you put a good name to it, you bring a lot of credibility to the organizing because people want to support students, right? So who wants to come on and be a student? Right. But right now, as it stands, these people still have, or what they're starting to do is they're saying, well, those big businesses, they're on our side because they don't want their workers organizing, right? They also support generally conservative politicians. So what they're doing is